Welcome to another session with me, Srilekha, lecturer in Mechanical Engineering, uh, SRRS Government Polytechnic, Agraharam. In yesterday's class, we have discussed uh, something regarding the problems on moment of inertia. So we have discussed the few problems related to moment of inertia, that is I section, L section, angle section, and a channel section, and a T section. And today we are going to discuss about both symmetric and non-symmetric section problems. And in yesterday's class we have followed a procedure that if a composite figure is given, first we have to divide the composite figure into simple plane areas. So simple plane areas means that can be a rectangle or a triangle or a square, uh, something like that. And then what we need to do, we need to find the individual areas of the sections and also individual moment of inertias. So after finding the moment of inertias, we have found the moment of inertia of the entire composite figure. So for this composite figure, we made use of the formula. So x bar is equal to a1x1 plus a2x2 and so on till anxn by a1 plus a2 plus so on till an. So which means nothing but x bar is equal to moment of areas about y axis by sum of the areas of the sections. So similarly, y bar is equal to a1 y1 plus a2 y2 plus a3 y3 and so on by a1 plus a2 plus a3 and so on. So moment of areas about x axis by areas, summation of the area. So by making use of that, we found x bar and y bar. So after finding the moment of inertia of the composite figure, we have found the uh, distances, centroidal distances. It means, so the distance between the moment centroid of the entire composite figure to that of the each section. Say if a section 1 is there, so its centroid is x1 and y1. Now for this entire figure, the centroid is x bar comma y bar. Now if I want the distance between these two, between the lines passing between these two centers, so nothing but the distances between the centroidal axis, nothing but hx1 is equal to x bar minus x1, nothing but difference in the x coordinates. Similarly, hy1 is equal to y bar minus y1. So likewise, we have found the centroidal distances among all the sections. Okay. So after finding the centroidal distance among all these sections, what we have done, we had found the, by making use of the formula that Ixx is equal to Ig plus Ah square. Nothing but the moment of inertia about an axis is equal to moment of inertia about the centroidal axis plus the product of area of the area of the plane and the square of the distances between the centroidal axis is nothing but a parallel axis theorem. By making use of that parallel axis theorem, we found moment of inertia of each section along the x-axis and y-axis. It means Ixx, Iyy, means Ix1, Ix2, Ix3. Likewise, for every section we found about the x-axis, and similarly about the y-axis, Iy1, Iy2 and Iy3 and so on. After that, so moment of inertia of the entire figure along OX axis means Iyy is equal to Iy1 plus Iy2 plus Iy3 and so on. Nothing but sum of the moment of areas about the OX axis. Similarly, moment of inertia of the entire figure about OY axis. OX axis means IYY is equal to IY1 plus IY2 plus IY3 and so on. So uh, in this format we have found the IXX and IYY, right? So we have found moment of inertia about the baseline and moment of inertia about the given centroidal axis or about an axis. Likewise, we have found in yesterday's class. And in today's class, we will be doing few problems of some of symmetric kind and some of non-symmetric kind, right? So, so the first problem is a bar of triangle section of sides 100 into 80 into 60 mm is placed in such a way that its longest side is on the ground. Calculate second moment of area of the section about the base and about the centroidal axis. Right? Sorry. So it is given that a triangular section of sides 100 and 80 and 60 are placed in such a way that the longest side is on the ground. It means your base is 100 mm. And now you need to calculate second moment of inertia. Means first moment of inertia again multiplied by the distance. Right? So that is nothing but your second moment of inertia about the base and about the centroidal axis parallel to the base. It means along the x-axis you need to find, right? So now let us do that. So given that 100 by 80 by 60. So it is given that this the longest side is on the base. So this base AB is equal to 100, right? So we have taken the base AB is equal to 100. So the remaining adjacent sides would be 80 and 60. Now I am drawing a perpendicular from C, right? From the vertex C. Then so let that length of that perpendicular bisector be H. Okay. H is the height of the triangle. Now let the distance from that point intersecting on the base to that of B is x. Okay. Now by making use of right angle triangle, hypotenuse square is equal to square sum of the squares of the adjacent sides. So in the triangle ACD I am considering. So AC is 80 and CD is H and AD is simply 100 minus X I can consider, right? So since AB is 100, so now and DB is X, so AD will be simply 100 minus X. So ACD. So here hypotenuse square nothing but this AC square should be equal to AD square plus CD square, right? So actually it should be something like 80 square should be equal to 100 minus x square plus h square, right? So 80 square is equal to 100 minus x square plus h square. So if I am taking this h as the main subject, then simply you can write h square is equal to 80 square minus 100 minus x square, right? Now similarly from the triangle BCD I am also taking. So here you can see BC is the hypotenuse, whereas DB and the CD are the adjacent sides. So according to this right angle triangle, I can write 60 square is equal to 60 square is equal to h square plus x square, right? So h square plus x square. So again I am taking h as the subject so that both the LHS are same. So h square is equal to 60 square minus x square. Now see, both LHS are same in the two equations. So it is h square and h square. So your value should be same for both the equations. So simply equating both, I'll get 860 square minus x square is equal to 80 square minus 100 minus x square. Right, that is what. So 80 square minus 100 minus x square is equal to 60 square minus x square. So upon calculating everything, you'll get x is equal to 36 mm. So this distance db is equal to 36 mm and AD is equal to 64 mm. Right, now h value is how much? So substituting this in any of the equation, you will get the h value. That is simply, so h square is equal to 60 square minus x square. Nothing but h square is equal to 60 square minus 36 square. So h is equal to under root 60 square minus 36 square. So you will get a value of 48 mm. Okay, so next, so moment of inertia about the base. So we know that for a triangle, moment of inertia is simply IAB is equal to BH cube by 12. So this is a uh, solid formula. So IAB is equal to BH cube by 12. So the base is 100 and the height of that is 48, which we have found by making use of the right angle triangle formula. Right. So 100 into 48 cube by 12 is equal to 92.16 into 10 to the power of 4 mm to the power of 4. So this is moment of inertia about the base. Now how can we find moment of inertia about centroidal axis? So here also we have the solid formula, that is Ixx is equal to BH cube by 36. So base is 100 and height is 48. So BH cube by 36 means 100 into 48 cube by 36. So that is equal to 30.72 into 10 to the power of 4 mm to the power of 4. Okay. So this is how we found the moment of inertia about the base. The formula is BH cube by 12 for a triangle, whereas moment of inertia about centroidal axis is BH cube by 36. Okay. So next problem. Find the moment of inertia of the section shown in the figure about its centroidal axis parallel to the base. Right. So this is a asymmetric C section, something like a channel section. So for a channel section, both the flanges will be of equal length, right? But here it is not equal. So you can see that both the flanges are of different thickness and different dimensions, right? So what we need to do first? First, we have to divide the given section into the definite simple planar areas, right? So after defining it into simple plane areas, what all we need to do? We have to find the individual areas. Like, so this is a channel section C. So here if I am dividing, so this one I will cut like this, right? So this is one section. Right. So the base section is a rectangle of length 120 and uh, of height 20. Right. Similarly, there is one more rectangle that is of length 90 and its width is 10. Now in between, how can we take? So this value you have to take as the length is 10 and its height is 120 minus 20 minus 10 means it is 90, right? So 20 is left to this base rectangle and 10 is left to this topmost rectangle, right? So 3 rectangles, the upper one is of 90 by 10, the secondary one is also again 90 by 10, and the third one is of 120 by 20. So by that only you can make use of the formula length into breadth and calculate the areas. Next what we do? We'll just trace out the moment of inertia of everything. So for this particular thing, if I take, so this will be your origin, which is the intersection of both x axis and the y axis. So here x1 would be 120 by 2, means 60. Next y1 would be 20 by 2, means 10. Now coming to this second one, see here, for this x term is simply 10 by 2 because it is on the y axis, right? Now coming to the y term, how can we take? So y term means, so from this base you have to calculate. So this is about a distance of 20 and its height is 90. So 90 by 2 plus 20 means 45 plus 20, nothing but 65. So y2 is 65 and x2 is 5 simply. Next, coming to this one, this topmost one. So this is on the y axis. So simply x value, x3 is equal to 90 by 2. Whereas coming to the y term, if you see, so from x axis, so this is situated at a distance of how much? It is 120 minus 10, means 110 is the distance between this third section and the axis. So 110, and you know that the formula for a rectangle is simply L by 2 and B by 2. So 10 by 2 plus 110 means 115, right? So 45 115 is the centroid of this one. Now we got the centroid of each section and areas of the each section. By making use of the formula a1 x1 plus a2 x2 plus a3 x3 by a1 plus a2 plus a3, you can find x bar. Next, y bar is equal to a1 y1 plus a2 y2 plus a3 y3 by a1 plus a2 plus a3, right? So in this manner you can find the centroid of the entire figure. Right, next you need to find the moment of inertia. As you know, moment of inertia means VDQ by 12, right? VDQ by 12 for everything. You'll find BDQ by 12 and DBQ by 12 and you'll take all the things and you'll just sum them. Okay. So, see, this is what we have done. We have already found the y terms. So let y be the position of the centroid from the base. Whatever I have explained, that's what is given. So, so we have found. So first section is 120 into 20. So it is 120 into 20 means 2400 is its area. And you know that its y term is simply 20 by 2. Right? Y1 is 20 by 2 means 10. Next, so the middle, the vertical section, rectangular part is 90 by 10. And y2 how we got? We got by 90 by 2 plus 20. So 90 by 2 means 45. 45 plus 20 means 65. Next third term is 90 into 10 and it is at a distance of 110. So 110 plus 10 by 2. 10 by 2 means 5 and 110 means 115 by 2400 plus 900 plus 900. So you will get entirely 44.28 mm, right? So this is how we calculate the moment centroid for that given figure, right? Next, see, we are tracing that y bar. Y bar what? Nothing but centroid of the entire figure. The centroid of the entire figure is, it is simply 44.28. So this is what the centroid of the entire figure, you can see here, right? Next, this for the first one, the centroid is simply 20 by 2, that is y1 equal to 20 by 2. So this is your y1. Next, so for this it is simply 65. So this is your third term, right? So this dotted line above this x which is shown, this is your 65. Next, above that, you know that 115 is the centroid for the topmost one. So that one we have to note it. And here you can see h1, h2 and h3. So h1 means y bar minus y1, nothing but this distance between the centroid of the first section and the centroid of the entire figure, nothing but h1 equal to y bar minus y1. Next, h2 is equal to simply y bar minus y2. So this is your y2 and this is your y bar. So this particular distance is h2. Next, h3 is nothing but again y bar minus y3 or y3 minus y bar, nothing but the distance between this centroidal axis of third section and the centroid of the entire figure, it is h3, right? So likewise you can calculate. That's what. So h1 is equal to y bar minus y1, nothing but 44.28 minus 10. Next, h2 is equal to 65 minus 44.28, means it is nothing but y2 minus y bar. It is simply 20.72 mm. Next is h3. h3 is simply y3 minus y bar. It means 115 minus 44.28. So that value is equal to 70.72 mm. Now you got the centroidal distances of all the sections from the centroid of the composite figure. So moment of inertia about xx of the first section is Ixx1 is equal to BD cube by 12 plus A1 H1 square. So BD cube by 12 nothing but centroidal. So this is moment of inertia about the centroid. So Ixx1 is equal to, so for the base where the bottommost rectangle, the base is 120 and its depth is 20. So 120 into 20 cube by 12 plus area is 120 into 20, we know that it is 2400 into, so h1 square means this 44.28 minus 10, so that is 34.28 square. Okay, so you'll get a value of how much, 29 lakhs 284.2 mm to the power of 4. Okay, so this is how we will get the value. Next, so Ixx2 is equal to B2 D2 cube by 12 plus A2 H2 square. So that is what, just the suffixes are changed, right? The same formula. So this is nothing but the vertical triangle which is rectangle which is in between the two horizontal rectangles, right? That is how much. So 10 into 70 90 cube by 12 plus 900 into 20.72 square. So 900 means 10 into 90 only, its area. And 20.72 means 44.7 minus 65. That value is this. Okay, so this is Ixx2. So you will get a value of 9,93,886.56 mm to the power of 4. Next is the third term. It is Ixx3 is equal to V3D3 cube by 12 plus A3H3 square. Nothing but again 90 into 10 cube by 12 plus 90 into 10 into
70.72 square. 70.72 square, how did you get? It is 115 minus 44.7, right? So now this one you'll get a value of 45 lakhs 8,686.6 mm to the power of 4. Okay, so this is all how we do. Next, the moment of inertia about the axis parallel to that of centroidal axis is Ixx is equal to Ixx1 plus Ixx2 plus Ixx3, that is equal to, so whatever we have found till now, 29 lakhs to 84.2 plus 99 lakhs 9 lakhs 93,886.56 plus 4 lakhs 50,000, 45 lakhs 8,686.6. So this one will get a value of 84 lakhs 2,857.36 mm to the power of 4. So this is how we calculate the moment of inertia about about the axis. Next, find the moment of inertia about y axis of the z section as given, right? So about the vertical axis you need to find the moment of inertia. So you can see here the z section. So z section, you can, so again following our principle, so now I can divide this z section into three sections, right? Z into three planar sections. Three rectangles can be formed. So at the base, if you see, the length of the rectangle will be 120 and the depth will be 10, right? So the base is 120 and the depth is 10. So its area will be 120 into 10, that is 1200, and its centroid will be, so x1, see if you see this x1 is at certain distance from the y-axis, so this distance, right? So now from this point to this point there is a distance, so while calculating the x1 you need to consider this value also. So x1 is simply 120 by 2 plus this distance, how much is that? It is 30, right? So 30 is this distance. So if so this is entirely 40 minus this thickness of 10, it is simply 30. So 120 by 2 means 60 plus 30, it is 90. So 90 is its x1. Now y bar, y1 is, so this is on the base only, so it is not at any distance, so it is simply 10 by 2. So x1 is 90 and y1 is 5. Next, similarly, this vertical term, if you see, right? So this vertical term, if I take, it is simply what you can write that it is, its length is 10 and its depth is, see, out of this 80, 10 is lost here, so it is 70, right? 70 means 70 by 2 plus 10 you have to consider while calculating the y term, right? So while calculating the y term, it is 10 plus 70 by 2 means it is 45 plus 10, it is equal to 55. Now coming to the horizontal term, so horizontal is 10 by 2. 10 by 2 means how much? 5. 5 plus this distance, so this distance we already know that it is 30, so 30 plus 5, it is 35. So 35 comma 55 is the centroid of this second section. And coming to its area, area is simply 70 into 10, nothing but 700. So A2 is equal to 700 and X2 is 55 and y2 is simply sorry, y2 is simply is 55 and x2 is simply 35. Now for this third section, if you see, so this section is on the y axis only. So while taking the x term, so from here it is simply 40 by 2, right? So x3 is equal to 40 by 2, that is equal to 20. Next, y term, so on the x axis it is at a distance. So what is the distance? It is 80. So while calculating this y3, you have to take 10 by 2 plus 80, nothing but 5 plus 80, it is 85. Okay, so y3 is equal to 85 and x3 is equal to 20. Now if you take this area of that particular rectangle, it is simply 10 into 40, nothing but 400. Okay, so 400 is the area of that rectangle. Yeah, so this is how you calculate the moment of inertia set, right? So that is whatever I have told. So divide the given section into three rectangle areas, right? So this is 1, this is 2 and this is 3, and we have seen already this, right? So here it is directly given. Now x bar, now I have told already to you people about x1, x2 and x3. So your x1 is how much? 90, and x2 is 35 and x3 is 20. Now if you calculate the moment of centroid of this figure, x bar is equal to a1 x1 plus a2 x2 plus a3 x3, right? So a1 x1 plus a2 x2 plus a3 x3 by a1 plus a2 plus a3, right? So that is what. So a1 is equal to 120 by 10. So this one we have already done. 120 by 10, that is equal to 1200. So x1 is 90, a2 is 70 into 10, that is equal to 700, and x2 is equal to 35. Now a3 is equal to 40 into 10, that is equal to 400, x3 is equal to 20. Now x bar is equal to a1 x1 plus a2 x2 plus a3 x3 by a1 plus a2 plus a3, right? So 1200 into 90 plus 700 into 35 plus 400 into 20 by 1200 plus 700 plus 400. So what value will you get? You will get it is 61.1 mm. Now what should we do next? We should find the distances, centroidal distances, right? So centroidal distances between the each section and the centroid of the given composite figure, right? That is nothing but hx1 and hx2 and hx3 first. Okay, so this hx3, that h1 means 90 minus that 41.1, right? 90 minus 41.1 is simply 28.9. Next, h2 is also, h2 means x bar minus x2, it is 26.1. So h1 means x bar minus x1 or x1 minus x bar. Okay, so x1 minus x bar is 28.9, nothing but h1. h2 is x bar minus x2, it is 26.1. Next, h3 is x bar minus x3, it is 41.1. Okay, so this is how we find h1, h2 and h3 along the y axis, because it is given that you need to find about the y axis, right? So you need to take the x distances. Now moment of inertia of the z section about yy is Iyy is equal to, so we have three sections, so we need to find individual moment of inertias about the y sections and sum them. So Iy1 is equal to, so we know that Iy1 is equal to db d1 v1 cube by 12 plus a1 into hx1 square, h1 square. Similarly, iy2 means d2 b2 cube by 12 plus a2 into h2 square. Similarly, iy3 means d3 b3 cube by 12 plus a3 into hy3 square. So likewise you will be calculating iy1, iy2 and iy3, just substituting them. So iyy equal to this entire in the brackets it is iy1 and this is iy2 and this is iy3. So iy1 means 10 into 120 cube by 12 plus 1200 into 28.9 square. Next, second one is 70 into 10 to the power of cube by 12 plus 700 into 26.1 square. Next, third one, 10 into 40 cube by 12 plus 400 into 20 square. So now this I1 Y1 value is 24.42 into 10 to the power of 5. Next, IY2 value is 4.87 into 10 to the power of 5. Next, IY3 is 2.13 into 10 to the power of 5. Now, summation of all the moment of inertias of the sections about y axis is, so 24.42 into 10 to the power of 5 plus 4.827 into 10 to the power of 5 plus 2.13 into 10 to the power of 5. So entirely it will give you a value of 31.377 into 10 to the power of 5 mm to the power of 4. Okay. So this is how we calculate the moment of inertia of the given field. Okay. Next, so let us do the next problem. It is simply find the moment of inertia of a symmetrical I section with the following dimensions about the centroidal axis. Find the radii of gyration. So flanges are of length 160 mm into 10 mm. Web is of 180 mm into 10 mm. So we know that flanges is nothing but the base plate and the top plate, that horizontal plates, bottom and the top. So those are of length 160 mm and 10 mm. The base is of 160 into 10 and the top is of 160 into 10, and in between that vertical small rod of thickness it is 180 into 10. So with the given dimensions, first we have to draw the entire figure, entire I section, right? So in the entire I section you can simply take that at the base the first section is 160 into 10 and the middle section is 180 into 10 and the topmost section is again 160 into 10, right? So the given section you can take here. So it is I section. Here you can see I section, right? So this is your I section. Okay, so I section, its flange is 160 into 10, both flanges, bottom flange is 160 into 10, top flange is 160 into 10 and the web is 180 into 10. Okay, so now first what we do, we will just divide this given I section into the equal parts, right? So into the definite shapes. Okay, so along the x-axis the first section is bottom flange, it is a rectangle, first rectangle 160 by 10. Okay, so 160 by 10. Now coming to its area, a1 is equal to 160 into 10, nothing but L into B. 160 into 10 means 1600 mm square. So A1 is equal to 1600 mm square. Now x1, nothing but centroid of the given figure, x1 comma y1. Now x1 is equal to 160 by 2. Next, y1 is equal to 10 by 2. So therefore x1 comma y1 are equal to 80 comma 5. Okay. So x1 value and y1 value are 80 comma 5. Now I am taking the web. So web as the second section. Okay. So for this second section, if you see, its length is 10 and its breadth is 180, height is 180. So now x1 is equal to, so this is 10. Okay, so 10 means 10 by 2, it is 5, but at the left side it is at a distance from the baseline, right, from the y-axis line. So what is the distance? So if this is 10, the entire length is 160. So this is 10 means remaining is 150. 150 means this left side space is 75, right side space is 75. Okay, so 75 plus 10 by 2 means 80. Okay, so x2 is equal to also 80. Next, y2. So y2 value is equal to, now, so from the baseline, if you see from the x-axis, so from the x-axis if you see, so it is at a height of 10, right? It this what web is not present on the axis, it is at a distance of 10, it is placed on the flange, right? So 10 plus 180 by 2, so 180 by 2 means 90, and the distance from the axis, from the x-axis to this web is 10. So 90 plus 10 means 100. Okay, so 100 is the y2 and x2 is the 80, and its area is 10 into 180, nothing but 1800 mm square. Okay, next, at the top you can see that section 3, it is nothing but the top flange. The top flange length is 160 and its width is 10, right? So area is 160 into 10, nothing but 1600 mm square. Now horizontal length is 160 and this is on the this is lying on the y plane, right? So from the y axis there is no distance, it is on the y axis. So simply the x term is equal to, simply the x term is equal to how much? It is simply 160 by 2, nothing but 80, right? And y term is, see, this particular rectangle, it is at a distance from the base, right? So what is that distance? The distance is 10 plus 180, nothing but 190, right? So the space between the x axis and this particular top flange is 190. So 10 by 2 plus 190, nothing but 195. So your y3 term is 195, and your y1 is 5 and y2 is 95, right? So but you can see that x1 is equal to x2 is equal to x3, nothing but 80 is equal to 80 is equal to 80. So your x bar is equal to also 80 only. And now if you calculate this moment of inertia, the centroidal distances will be also 80. So your centroid lies on that axis only, the axis which is passing through it, right? The central axis only, the centroid lies on the x-axis only, right, where x value is 80. No, so we need not find the moment of inertia about the y-axis. Now we can just go with the x-axis terms only. It means in the term, in the terms of y only you can find, right? So moment of inertia is symmetric about x-axis, nothing but x bar is equal to simply It's simply BD cube by 12. Right? See here, what we have done is we did not take like this x1 is equal to x2 equal to x3. We have considered this total as a rectangle, right? So here you can see this entire I section is considered to be a rectangle of length 160 and of height it is 180 plus 10 plus 10 20 means 200. So 160 by 200, and from this if I remove two rectangles, so of length how much, 75 by height is 180. So now this entire figure moment of inertia is some I1 say. From this if I remove these two I2s, 2 into I, then I will get this shape only, no? So instead of taking this 1 plus 2 plus 3, I am taking this entire box minus this small boxes. Okay. By making use of that like that also I can calculate, right? So that is what we are doing here. See, Ixx equal to BD cube by 12 is the moment of inertia of that rectangle 120 by 200, right? Minus that small rectangles on the left and right side of the web which we need to remove, that is this BD cube by 12. Okay, so Ixx is equal to 160 into 200 cube by 12 minus 2 into 75 into 180 cube by 12. Okay, so this one you'll get a value of 3376 into 10 to the power of 4 mm square. Next, moment of inertia about y-axis. It is Iyy equal to Iyy1 plus Iyy2 plus Iyy3. So simply 2 Iyy1 plus Iyy2. So it is equal to 2 into 10 into 160 cube by 12 plus 180 into 10 cube by 12. So there we have taken from the box, we have removed that remaining material which has to be taken off to find a I section. But while taking the y term, we are taking the additive method. It means whatever we have followed till now, that is section 1, section 2 and section 3, and taking that sum of all the sections, right? So here we are not considering the box, we are considering the I section only. There previously we have considered that box, and from that box we removed from that left side material, right side material for x terms. But for y terms we are just taking these three rectangles, nothing but the web and the two flanges. Okay, so the web and the two flanges, so two flanges are of same dimensions, so we can simply write, instead of 10 into 160 cube by 12 plus 10 into 160 cube by 12 plus 180 into 10 cube by 12, every 10 simply as 2 into 10 into 160 cube by 12 plus 180 into 10 cube by 12. So that value is equal to 68.4 into 10 to the power of 5 mm per 4, right? Next, so radius of gyration. So what is radius of gyration? The radius of gyration is the distance from the point where the entire area is said to be concentrated. So we already discussed that radius of gyration is the distance about which, the point about which the entire area is said to be concentrated. So K is equal to under root I by A, where I is moment of inertia and area A is the area of the section. Now I am taking Ixx, whatever we have found, that is 3376 into 10 to the power of 4 by area, means you have to take A1 plus A2 plus A3, that is 5000. So under root of 3376 into 10 to the power of 4 by 5000 is equal to 82 mm. Also, now radius of gyration about the y axis, it is Iyy by a is equal to 68.4 into 10 to the power of 5 by 5000. So that is equal to, it is simply 37.37 mm. Okay, so it is 37 mm. So this is how we calculate the radius of gyration and, so where is it, and moment of inertia.